Welcome back to another episode of the Escape for Tarkov Beginner's Guide. In this episode, we're going to be talking about how to effectively attack and defend against regular Scavenger AI. This is one of the biggest threats in the game other than other players, Scav bosses, and raiders, and the threat that you're going to be running into the most. The good news is, if you learn how they move and how they act and behave, you can easily attack and defend them and take the least amount of damage possible. One of the biggest threats to a new player is merely understanding how the Scavenger AI works and using it to your advantage to easily kill and dispatch them to make your raids better. Today I'm going to be using an AK-101. It doesn't really matter what weapon you choose. As a solo player, I do recommend Suppressed. Not only is it going to help you attack the scavengers quietly, but you're going to be able to effectively kill PMCs and keep them guessing on where you are. So the first thing we're going to be taking a look at is scavengers yelling at you. Whenever scavengers are in the area, they will always try to yell aggressively at you or to other scavengers in the region to let them know they know where you are. And you can use this to your advantage to get into cover to avoid taking shots. Now, sometimes this can give you a second or two to actually outmaneuver the scavengers, and rarely the scavengers will even try to flip you off, and you can use that to your advantage to actually go and kill them during the process. So I'm going to go over and try to find this scav that we just spotted in front of us and see if I can get him to get pissed off at us so we can hear his yell. Here we go. When these scavengers spot me, they should actually aggressively yell. There we go. We heard the yell, so immediately I'm going to try to go to cover. I'm going to try to do that again. So the scavengers should yell at us. See how much time we have to react? Let's try that one more time. I'm breaking line of sight. Every single time I break line of sight, it should reset the lock. We'll get to that in a little bit. See that? I hear the yell, immediately do a dodge to the right or to the left to get cover behind line of sight. See that? Because we broke proper line of sight, he left combat and then he re-entered combat. So often whenever scavengers re-enter combat mode, they will let you know that they see you, which is a huge advantage. If you're wondering how experienced players avoid being shot by scavengers, this is the mechanic that prevents 9 times out of 10 taking an unnecessary shot from a scav. It's knowing your surroundings and using audio to your advantage. That's why I think you should use a headset or a pair of earbuds, because it will give you an advantage over players that don't use that equipment or help defend against scavengers. Anyway, this is actually a good way to show off something else. Grenades actually work really well against scavengers, especially flashbangs. You can actually use flashbangs to melee scavengers. That's how effective they are. As long as the scavenger is looking at the flashbang when it explodes, they will be full flashed. Now, unfortunately, in some situations, scavengers won't just stand there dazed. They'll go and run to a defensive position and sit there. But that can give you more than enough time to either take cover and heal or be the aggressor and take advantage of their inability to see. So I know that there's some scavs behind this rock here. There's one right there to our right. There's one there to my left. The guy on the right side is going to start to run back to cover. Let's do that one more time here. He's full flashed. So as you can see, he has no clue what's going on here. So flashbangs do work against scavengers, and if you are really struggling against them, it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe bring a flashbang or two. It's not needed, but I just figured I'd show you guys that it does actually work out. Smoke grenades also work too. It's very similar to like a bush. So as long as you're like 50% behind the smoke, the scav won't see you. But the moment that you're kind of like 51% into the smoke, they might see you and start shooting you. So smokes, they do work especially well with thermals, but not as reliable or fun as flashbangs. So now let's talk about actually breaking line of sight and utilizing covert movement to your advantage when it comes to fighting scavs. This is my favorite way to fight scavengers, and if you understand how scavs interact with you during this, you are going to be able to kill them really easily. So let's try to get this guy's attention. I'm going to put myself behind this tree. I'm going to go into a crouch and go into covert movement mode. I'm always keeping this tree in between me and the scavenger. Let's see if we can... He ran for cover himself. Let's see if we can pull him out. Well, I mean... Let's wait for him. Hey there, buddy. I'm over here. That one got him good. He's blind. There we go. All right. I'm going to go crouch, and then I'm going to go into covert movement, which means slow walk into crouch. He was just locked on. We broke the line of sight. He now has no idea where we are. Let's peek it, get his attention. Try to do it one more time. Hey, buddy. Let's shoot him in the... Here we go. Well, he got me that time. So he just shot us. Let's go behind cover. Crouching covert movement. Look at that. He has no clue. He's looking right at us right now. We broke line of sight. We went into covert movement. No idea. Even though I have a broken arm, we have another scavenger that's coming down the way right now because we heard his scav yell. Hear that? Here he comes. So let's do the exact same thing. Now, I'm putting myself at unnecessary risk here because I'm trying to get their attention intentionally. But in this case, I would just break the lock and kill him. But for the sake of the video, let's intentionally try to get this guy to shoot us. In fact, we could probably just go closer. So he just shot at us. We're gonna go break line of sight. The rock is in between me and the scav. I'm kind of crouching a little bit. Now, you don't have to do this for very long. Like, I wouldn't be crouching in the middle of the open field, you know, because the threat here now is from other players. But you only have to do it for a second or two, right? Only a second or two. He left combat mode and then entered covert movement, breaking the lock, so he re-yelled, giving us more than enough time to kill him. If that makes any sense. Let's go find some more scavs. So in this section of woods, we have lots of cover, lots of ways to break line of sight. We even have some of the tall grass, which will help us with covert movement. So again, I'm going to put myself intentionally out there more than I normally would. As you can see, if this was a regular raid, I would just go bap, you know, and then kill the other guy. But I want to showcase some scav mechanics. So let's do it right. First, I'm going to get the attention of this scav. Now I'm going to go covert movement here. He actually exited combat and re-entered there. Even though we did our body was out of cover, he tried to shoot. We entered line of sight break. Then covert movement. Then he kept on moving and he wasn't shooting at us until I shot him first. Then he tried to return fire. This guy on our right side, let's see if we can get him to do something fun. Alright, we got a scav behind us. We're actually out in the open right now. But I'm going to trust in the system. There he is. As you can see, he's in a crouch stance, moving towards my position. This guy just gave me away. Let's break line of sight again, see if we can get him to go back in there. Because we're playing in a crouch and a slow walk, the scavengers will sometimes do the same. Alright, let's see. Come on, buddy. Alright, broke line of sight. He's right on the other side of this tree. Let's see what he does. Alright, he's doing it. Alright, so this scav is pissed off at us. He's firing from an unknown position. He's still yelling at us while he's moving over to us. So let's crouch covert. Put us... Put the cover between him and I, and no big deal at all. There's guy. He's in covert movement mode right now. We're playing sneaky. So the scavs play sneaky. He's moving in on the last known position where he heard our gunshots. Now, unfortunately, his buddy spotted us. So this time we're going to get some distance, and we're actually going to flank left. We're going to break line of sight, change our angle. Get pretty far out there. And we should be able to flank this scavenger without too many issues. Look at that. He's doing the same thing before too. Breaking line of sight is the most effective way of killing scavengers sometimes. The combination between putting objects in between you and the scav vision, going into covert movement and being sneaky. Suppressed weapons do help because it masks your shot placements, and also it's going to protect you against players. And then also listening for those yells, so whenever you hear a yell, you can get into cover pretty quick and use that to your advantage. So now I'm going to be applying what I was just talking about on factory on horde mode. So I'm not going to be doing any sort of experimentation. I'm not going to give the scavs a whole lot of chances, but I definitely will run out of ammo here. So let's go. Same methods can be applied indoors as well as outdoors. Breaking line of sight, using cover, covert movement to your advantage. So with that, let's get to it. Scav yells. Flashbangs. Break the lock. Go for the repeak. When you apply damage to a scavenger, they can't accurately return fire. That's how a lot of people kill scav raiders and scav bosses. You're shooting, they can't reply, they can't shoot back accurately. Let's get a little bit more dangerous here. There we go. Hear the yell, move into cover. As a power slide, gotta be careful about that. Pepper Hunter. Go for the reload. We got guys left. Run to cover. Break line of sight. Go back into cover. That scav was looking to the right because he thought I was right, but I was really left. And let's covert movement now. Keep the scavs guessing on where you're going to be. The moment we go loud, they will know though. Footsteps behind. Oh, he spotted me. Might have to pick up one of their weapons here. Couple tosses.
Вот он! Понял, бля, понял!
Got a scav in there. I might try to grab his shotty.
Вон он, сука!
The Yell just saved my life there. Try to get myself another weapon. Prefer to have a shotgun if I can. Run back into cover after the Yell. Movement to our right. Movement to our left. Move right. This is gonna be bad. We're gonna probably take a shot here, maybe. Right side. All right. We got them pushing. Covert movement. Let's go. Go for the heal. Here they come. All calm. Here they come. Breaking line of sight. He knows where I am now. Go for the reload. Get cover. Right side. Left side. And back left. Another one back left. Right side. Reload. Break line of sight. Back out of cover. Go right side. Break line of sight. It's gonna get a little wacky here now. Go into toilets. Flip to the weapon. Reload. Left, 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 left. Put weapons. Go left. Oh, I'm biting up more than I can chew now. Double tap. Go covert. Keep them guessing. Go for a heal. So even in horde mode, I was actually able to get things to calm down a little bit, being completely surrounded. The key takeaways of this video is number 1, listen for scavenger yells. You'll be able to reposition and get into cover. Number 2, break line of sight. Number 3, re-attack whenever you feel like they've actually exited combat mode, or potentially enter covert movement to keep them guessing on where you are. Also, being able to flank when you break line of sight is a really great way of killing scavengers on maps like Customs, Woods, Shoreline, and Interchange, and you can keep them guessing on your last known position. At the end of the day, the most important thing is putting objects in between you and the scavengers after you're getting shot at or you hear a scavenger yell. Sometimes taking damage is inevitable, but if you're in a defensive position after you take that damage, it means you're still alive, you can heal up, and bring back the fight to them. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this video kind of gives you guys some understanding on how I approach killing scavengers in all of my raids. I really slowed things down, broke it down for you guys, and put myself out there to show how the scavengers work and interact with you, and how line of sight can be used to your advantage. Thanks again for watching. Consider subscribing here for some more Escape from Tarkov videos and content, or checking out the live streams Monday through Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.